Today I fucked up by asking my BFS mom to read my text while I was driving. Obligatory, this happened a couple weeks ago. Too long didn't read. At bottom. Some background of the story is my boyfriend sold his RV to a lovely family he met on some place like Facebook Market. He forgot that the vehicle actually had 2 keys that go to it and he only gave them 1 key. He was at work so he was unable to give them the 2nd key. He calls me in a panic because he had no idea where this key is, so he asks me to find it and bring it to the people who bought his RV. I'm uncomfortable meeting strangers on the internet, so I asked his mother if she could go with me and I will give her a ride home as she does not drive. I didn't tell him she was going with me, important to the story later. He kept texting me and by the 3rd text I thought there was something wrong or I needed to know. I asked his mom if she could read me what he said because I don't text and drive. She started reading his text. Tomk, thank you so much. Tonight I am going to get you off so hard your head will spin. An awkward silence ensues and she broke it by saying okay then. I asked her just to respond saying that she is texting so he would stop dirty texting to prevent further awkwardness. He responded by calling him his childhood nickname and saying this is your maternal figure. Your girlfriend is driving. He responded with well this is super awkward. We laugh about it now, but never ever again am I letting people read my texts. If it is important enough they can call. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend's mom and I were meeting with people who bought my boyfriend's RV to drop off another key to them. While I was driving I kept getting texts and asked his mom to read it to me. It was a dirty text that said thank you so much. I am going to get you off so hard your head will spin. His mom responded to let him know that she was with me. My ex asked me to read her text once as we were driving home from a road trip. It was her friend asking why we had gone on the trip and met my family if she was just going to break up with me anyway. Made for a very awkward 4 hours. That seems like a very awkward road trip indeed. Sorry to hear that, frown. One time I had finished changing my JFS oil in her car and she was out running errands in my car and I texted her, okay mom your car is ready. The total comes to 1 sloppy blowjob for service today. And when she got back she told me her mom had her phone when the message popped up. I have no regrets cause we are grown. She just laughed about it. Marry him. You'll never get that lucky in the mothers-in-law department. Marry him for the mother-in-law. Sounds like a story your mother-in-law will tell for years to come. Get that man locked down. When my husband and I first started dating I bought a new car with Bluetooth. I was riding with my mom and he called and said hello, sugar britches, and my mother has never let me live it down. Better than sweet ass I suppose. Today I fucked up by having the best dream of my life turn into a nightmare, and ending up in the hospital as a result. Don't use Reddit but WE. This happened yesterday. It was my birthday and I went to sleep and had the best dream ever. I'm disabled and crippled and live with my parents since I'm entirely dependent on other people. I dreamed that I had friends and was going out and drinking and going to different pubs and whatnot. And even ended up at a club too. I wasn't crippled and could move freely. I was having so much fun, and at one point I had feelings for a girl in my dream, a friend who doesn't exist to begin with, and asked her out but got rejected. Whatever. At the club, she sat down at a table and a guy showed up and sat down next to her, and within what felt like 10 seconds of talking to each other, they started making out. I turned around and realized none of my friends were there for me. It was just an excuse to go out partying. I felt so sick to my stomach as they all started leaving without me. I ended up crying and woke up crying, and that turned into convulsions and also wet the bed in the process. Parents came and took me to the hospital across the street. I got discharged pretty quickly, which wasn't bad, but I had to also explain to the therapist what happened too. Felt like a complete sack of shit. Just wanted to get this off my chest. Too long didn't read. Had a dream where I went out partying with imaginary friends, got friend-zoned and rejected by all my friends, woke up to convulsions and wet the bed. Edit. Thanks for the comments but I don't need sympathy, all of you enjoy your lives as much as you can. I wasn't crippled and could move freely. This part of the dream was what hit me the most. I have only been injured or been sick and bedbound for short periods, and even then the desire to be able to get up and move freely about is something else. In addition to the other details of the dream you had, I can only imagine how devastating it must feel to have a dream where you can freely move around and then wake up only to realize it wasn't real. Sorry you had to experience that. I used to have those dreams really frequently until I got used to my situation. Then all my dreams, I wasn't able to move. I still get those dreams randomly every now and then. Usually I love them, but not this time. I'm over it now anyways. I'm sorry you had to go through that hard experience, Op. I'd like to encourage you to continue being as real/honest with your therapist as possible. I know some topics are harder to talk about, especially those really personal ones. I hope your therapist is able to effectively work with you through this. Nobody deserves to feel the way you do, and I'm wishing you all the best on your journey in self-love. That sucks. Sounds like a panic attack while you were sleeping. Sorry to hear it. Also, you're a Redditor now. Can't decide if this is comforting or ominous. You didn't fuck up. Not a criticism, I just wanted to say that. Take care, internet friend. Well, I'll be your friend and we can go to the pub if you want. No worries about getting abandoned either, cause that's not what friends do. I only know what friends are like from movies and TV shows, but I always hear about drama, so I'd what it's like to begin with. Today I fucked up by making a poorly timed pun at work. This happened yesterday. I'm still laughing about it. People still won't talk to me. Yesterday started off as any normal Tuesday. I strolled into work a little early, got my stuff together, and hopped on our weekly Tuesday morning meeting. I was on the schedule to give a short presentation on some of the work I've been doing, creating documentation for the standard technology we use in our business division. I'm wearing my noise-cancelling headphones, watching these much more experienced engineers talk about their work with the company infrastructure. About 45 minutes into this meeting, I notice the engineers on my row stand up and quickly moving toward the exit. I take off my headphones and hear an alarm going off. All I could make out was this voice saying BZZZT burb, this is not a drill. My mind jumps to fire. So I run with the pack to get outside. We get outside, and I see people sprinting to their cars and driving away. I think to myself, that seems awfully uncharacteristic of a fire. I find one of the guys from my team and ask him what he heard. He said this alarm alerted the campus of a possible armed assailant on the property. 30 minutes later, dozens of police cars have shown up, there is a media helicopter circling the building, and armed guards with their weapons drawn scanning the building floor by floor. Definitely not what I was expecting going into today. Find some of the other workers I've talked with. I told them I was supposed to be giving a presentation today that I'm not entirely sure I was ready for. My next thought just blurted out, "Guess I really dodged a bullet there." They all just stared at me. I realized it as soon as I said it. My face got super red, my palms got sweaty, and I just turned around to leave for the day. Fast forward to today and no one is talking to me. Too long didn't read, possible armed assailant reported at my work, and I just fed the trauma. That's okay. One time I was at a funeral for a friend who died suddenly and tragically at a young age. He was all dressed up in a nice suit and tie in his casket. After viewing his body, I was standing outside awkwardly with some of our friends trying to think of something to say. Someone remarked how odd it was to see our pal dressed up in a suit, and I just blurted out, "Yeah, he wouldn't have been caught dead in that outfit." It's been 10 years and I'm honestly still embarrassed when I think of this moment. No, that's great. Funerals are there to have a last quip with the people you love about and with the person you lost. Honestly, a light-hearted joke like that can really have a stress-relieving effect on people. It puts a lot of things into perspective. Did you use the finger guns when you said it? That would have been gold. If I had thought for even a second, that would have been perfect. I'd understand why they'd be mad if someone got hurt, but if everything ended up fine, then they really have a terrible sense of humor. No one got hurt, but I guess being trapped on the top floor of a building and having police escort you out may be kinda traumatizing. Wait, what? Conference call over Microsoft Teams? Sorry, should have specified. Your co-workers sucked. Mine would have died laughing. Literally, since you dodged but they didn't.